Port Sarim is a port town located within the southeast of Asgarnia. Its prime location upon the sea has granted it access to many far-off lands. It's a hub of trade for Asgarnia and other lands in the Southern Sea, with stores of many kind trading wares from far away. Though it is unknown when Port Sarim was built, it was likely built after Falador as humans spread across the lands in the Fourth Age. In recent times, the port has opened up to people from many lands including Karamja, Untrana, Kandarin and even parts of Mauritania. With so many people entering from far-off lands, customs officers have become more strict in regards to what cargo is allowed here. A jail has been constructed to hold creatures and people who pose a threat to the town. With a diverse population of people living here, it's easy to find conflict. And with as many goods as there are passing through the town, thieves make a decent living in the alleyways. Citizenscape's goals today are going to be pretty simple. We don't have any skill tasks to do here today. We do, however, have 2 combat tasks. We will need to kill a giant rat outside of the chapel, plus a thief in the streets. We have 2 quests to complete today, namely the Pirate's Treasure Quest and the mini-quest Skippy and the Mogres. There are 3 easy achievements in this area which we would normally have to complete. We will be claiming a security book from the security guard in Port Sarim jail, however we cannot complete our other 2 achievements with the restrictions we have set ourselves. In Port Sarim, we would normally need to teleport to pest control using the minigame teleport and complete a novice game of pest control for 2 more achievements. Both of these are classified as easy achievements, which we would normally have to do, however a combat level of 40 is required to complete either of them. Even if we reach level 30 in all our combat stats, we wouldn't have a high enough combat level to complete this. While we could increase our levels above 30, that defeats the spirit of our goal. We do already have skills above level 30, namely woodcutting, farming and mining, but we don't intend to train those beyond completing set goals and for resource gathering. As such, I'll be holding off on these achievements until we return, when we work our way to becoming a Tier 2 citizen. As part of our miscellaneous tasks for today, we will need to make purchases at Betty's Magic Emporium, Brian's Battle Axe Bazaar, Grum's Gold Exchange, Garrett's Fishy Business and Wyden's Food Store. We will be buying a beer from the Rusty Anchor Inn, and finally recharging our prayer points at the chapel. With all that, let's get started. So we've just come off the high of ridding Draynor village from Count Draynor. The admiration of the people hopefully won't go to our heads. Let's start by visiting the chapel here between Port Sarim and Rimington. Perhaps some good old-fashioned prayer will rid us of the vampiric presence and even humble us a bit. On our way out of the chapel, I can hear Skippy yelling at the sea. We weren't able to help him last time we met him, but perhaps now that we're a mighty hero we can. Hi Skippy, remember me? You were telling me about the dangerous mudskippers, remember?
Huh?
The mudskippers who attacked you?
I've been drinking. I don't know you.
Right, well perhaps if we sobered you up a little, you'd be able to tell me what's going on.
The hell you do that for? It's freezing. You trying to kill me?
Sorry, I thought it'd sober you up. Probably good for the smell though. Do you remember anything?
I'm not talking while I freeze to death. Bring me something to warm up. Nettle tea.
So we go and fetch a bowl of water and some nettles. We warm it up and give it to Skippy to drink.
Ow, my head.
What's wrong? Was it too hot?
This hangover will be the death of me.
Let me see that bottle. Captain Brain Death's extra strength rum and drain cleaner. That's not good.
Hangover cure, quick.
A hangover cure? What's in that?
Bucket of milk, snape grass, chocolate dust.
So, chocolate milk with a snape grass kick. I guess I can fetch that? Okay, here, drink this. When we give Skippy the hangover cure, he seems to rear up right away. He begins to speak more coherently and his memory seems to return to him. So, the mudskippers?
Yes, well you see I was fishing with fishing explosives.
Right, of course.
Slayer masters sell them. They're used for killing underwater creatures.
Okay, with you so far.
Then suddenly I was startled by a giant mudskipper, or so I thought.
So, not actually a mudskipper then?
No. It was in fact. Dramatic pause. A mogre.
Did you have to say dramatic pause out there?
Did you not hear me, a mogre?
Okay, but what exactly is a mogre?
It's a kind of ogre that spends most of its time underwater.
Sure, why not?
When my fishing explosive scared away all the fishies, they jumped out and bit at me. I had to struggle to get away.
I should talk to Spira about these mogres. So I go and talk to Spira. I ask her if she has fishing explosives for sale, and she laughs at me. She tells me that I'm simply not accomplished enough to fight off mogres. I remind her that I've slain vampires, and she gives me a look. Mogres require level 32 Slayer to kill. We'll have to come back when we're a little more experienced. Citizenscape feels like he could do it though. Well, we have combat on our mind. We defeated the Count Draynor, so a mogre really shouldn't have been that difficult. At least we can take out criminals and pests around the town. Port Sarim has a problem with thieves and giant rats. We managed to take out one of each. The people don't seem to be overly impressed with our amazing combat talents though. I guess we'll have to show them how good we are by buying from their shops. I've made purchases from a few of these stores before, but let's do it again. I buy from Betty's Magic Emporium, Brian's Battle Axe Bazaar, Garrett's Fishy Business, and Wyden's Food Store. We didn't have enough money to make a purchase at Grumm's Gold Exchange. His wares are very expensive. We'll come back later. We head into the Rusty Anchor and buy a beer. The patrons are mostly sailors, though a few are pirates too. One pirate named Redbeard Frank tells us that the beer here simply doesn't compare to the rum on Karamja. So you must have sailed all over the place. Is Karamjan Run really that good?
Aye, it's the best there is. It's so good that they won't even let you import it to the mainland anymore. They'd be worried that nobody will drink the mainland swill again after that.
Wow, it must be good.
Aye. It's got me into more than a few nights of trouble, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Well, what if I get you a bottle of this rum? What's it worth to you?
A mate o' mine left his treasure behind. I could give up the key if you could manage to get me a bottle of that rum.
Easy, no problem. I can just pop there and back.
It won't be that easy. They'll search you on your way off the island.
I'll think of something. So we ask the sailors around the boat to Karamja. They tell us they can travel to Musa Point, though it'll cost us 30 gold for passage. We don't have that kind of money on us right now. We'll be right back. Okay, I bought more gold so they can buy from Grum while we're here. Now let's board the boat. So we buy a bottle of this infamous rum. That was easy enough. Now we just have to find a way to get it off the island. A man named Luthus runs the banana plantation. I ask him where he ships his bananas and he tells me they ship to Port Sarim. Surely that's difficult with the customs officers checking your goods all the time.
Not at all. They know me pretty well by now, so they usually let my goods through without a check.
Really? You know, your operation will go a lot quicker with more employees. Let me pick some bananas for you.
If you want to work for me, sure. I'll pay you for each crate of bananas you fill up.
Excellent. Citizenscape has hatched a plan. If we put the rum into the crate and then fill it with bananas, we can smuggle it into Port Sarim. The customs officers don't check Luthus's goods, so then all we need to do is collect it once it reaches Port Sarim. Alright, the goods have been sent to Wyden's Food Store in Port Sarim. I'm sure if we ask, he'll let us work for him. Then we can collect the rum and leave. Got any jobs going?
You want a job here? Sure. You'll need an apron though.
I purchased an apron too since I already have the chef hat. No problem. Now that we have a job here, we can go into the back and fetch the rum. All too easy. We just have to walk past customs without raising suspicion.
Have you brought some rum for your old mate Frank?
You betcha. Give me that treasure key.
A deal's a deal.
So Redbeard Frank hands Citizenscape the key. He tells us that the chest should be in the Blue Moon Inn. We've been there before, it's in Varrock. We head upstairs and find the chest. When we unlock it with the key, we find a note. City of the White Knights, in the park. That sounds like where Wyson sold us those word leaves in Falador. We head there immediately and dig in the spot that the note describes. The gardeners don't like us digging up their flowers though, and we get into a fight. Once we've knocked out the gardener, the treasure is all ours. Money, jewellery, gems, cha-ching! Back in Port Sarim, we can complete our achievement by claiming the security book from the security guard in the Port Sarim jail. We read the book and it tells us of a place called the Stronghold of Security in the village of Barbarians. It mentions that the Stronghold is quite a combat challenge, but we've slain vampires, so how hard can it be? Unfortunately, we can't teleport to pest control without a combat level of 40. We can't even join a ship at the novice level. Huh. But Citizenscape has defeated a vampire menace that terrorized the village like it was nothing. Today, though, we're not considered good enough to fight Mogres or even join a novice crew of fighters. Maybe we're not all that after all. When we look back on our day in Port Sarim, we also smuggled goods past the customs officers for a pirate. We only helped Redbeard Frank because we knew there'd be treasure in it for us. We took down threats to the town, but only for the admiration, which we were annoyed not to receive. We dug up flowers in a park, and we beat up a gardener. We quit 2 jobs when they no longer served our misguided purposes. We nearly froze Skippy to death. Even the purchases we made were only to make the people like us when they weren't impressed by our combat skills. We're starting to turn into the wise old man, disregarding the law and doing things only motivated by greed and reward. I think we need to take a long look at ourselves. We talk with the Void Knight Squire on the dock in Port Sarim. We're not currently good enough to aid them, but we should hear about their mission. Can you tell me about the Void Knights?
We're knights in service to Guthix. We protect Draynor from the creatures that would do it harm. Recently strange creatures have been pouring through breaches into our realm from elsewhere.
That's a lot to take in. It must be difficult.
The creatures are powerful, sure. It takes a lot of training and devotion to combat this threat.
Sounds like quite a selfless act. You said you were in service to Guthix. Who is that?
Guthix is our god. He is the god of balance and nature. We strive to keep the balance he set upon the world.
Wow, that is a mighty task.
We do what we can.
That's a very humble way of being. I could really use some humbling. Where do I sign up?
Our order is very strict. I think perhaps you'd be better served right now talking with the monks of Intrana. They are followers of Saradam.
I've heard of Saradomin. Perhaps that's a good idea. So, perhaps today didn't quite go as planned. In an effort to humble ourselves and take it slow, we're going to join the monks of Intrana for a little while. We talk with one of the monks on the docks and secure passage. Please join me next time in Intrana.